Hello, everyone. So today we're going to talk about very important concept when it comes to tracking, measurement plan, and anything related to data analysis when it comes to the websites, which is the debug. And how can you debug? How can you preview what you have done on the website if your implementation is correct, if it's not correct, if you did the implementation right, but the delivery was not right? We're going to talk today about a couple of ways how to debug what you have done. And there are three main ways to do the debug. The first way is, of course, the simple way. It's the Google Tag Manager. When you go to Google Tag Manager, you can see that there's something called Preview. When you click on a Preview, it will ask you, what's your website domain? And then you put your website domain, and then you click on Continue. Of course, we didn't do much with tracking, right? So you will not see much, but okay, for example, this is my first hit. I landed on the website, so you can see, okay, you have an event called page view. So you can see that, like the event name is page view, gtm.js. You can see what other things that we have. So whatever you do on the website, it will reflect somehow on the preview, and then you see, okay, you know what are the variables that I have here? So okay, I have product view as an event name. That's great. What did I fire? I fired the page view. Oh no, I didn't fire the page view here. I fired the page view. Maybe let's see where. Yeah, I fired it here on that event. So you will see what are the events that being fired and what are the tags and triggers that being implemented. So when we talk about the Google Tag Manager preview mode, is it for debugging GTM tags, triggers, and variables? So you will see what are the tags, variables that you have, and of course the triggers. It will confirm that GA4 events fire correctly. As you can see here, we have the page view for GA4 that we tracked in the previous lesson, and you will see events order and payload. So as you can see that, okay, you know what? I see that the page view happens, then you can see like there's product view, some other events will happen like add to cart, purchase, etc., etc. It will be in the event stream here. Now, why this is so critical? This is so critical because, first of all, it works for all GTM-based setups. It will force the debug mode equals to true. This is something we're going to talk about later, and it will show why something fired or didn't. As I said, like when you look here at the page view, you are not expecting to have on that specific event a page view event firing again. The page view fire should happen when you load the page, right? So you'll say, okay, you know what, we didn't have it here because the event this does not equal the gtm.js. So it will tell you why things happened, why things didn't happen. Like if we go here, you will see like, okay, it happens. Why? Because the event equals to gtm.js, and this is what you can see here. Let's go. Uh, yeah. So you can see here that, okay, the GTM equals gtm.js. I go here and I go to the variables, and you see that, okay, the event here is gtm.js. After that, what's the other way to do it? The other way to do it is the Omnibug. Omnibug is really important. So let's say that here I'm in my shop page. Omnibug is an extension that you have to download. Of course, you can just go here, you put Omnibug extension Chrome, and then you get it here, the first one, and then you can just download it or install it into your Chrome. Then in my case, it's installed. How can you reach this out? You can go to this icon here, you click this, and then you click on Omnibug. For Omnibug to actually populate, what you need to do, you need to, first of all, reload the page, or you can jump into another page. So in our case, we jump to this page, and then you can see that, okay, you know what, you have user interaction, you have the event here, it's our measurement ID here. You can see that the page review is here. So you can see all the events that you need. It's there. Of course, in our case, we have multiple page views. It should not be the case. It should be only one page view. You should not have multiple page views, but it will list all the events happening in here. And of course, because we have the enhanced measurement enabled, it will track all the engagement happens. So this is the other one. I'll take you through it really quickly. For example, if we go to the page view, let's go to the first one. So this is the first page view. You can see that, okay, this is the ID that you have. This is the timestamp. Some interesting things, the session ID you will have the user ID, you will have the consent, what was the consent that the user like approved. What else? What else? You will have the event name. You know, if you want to have the event name, you will have the event name. If you put it in the parameters, you can see that it's a page view. So you see, like, there's a lot of information that you can get from there. And the more you work on your code from the tracking part, the better overview that you will get, you know. But these are fairly, we can say, the basic ones. Of course, in the future, when we go more in depth in this course, we will go through Omnibug more step by step and see what's going on. So if we go and talk about Omnibug, what is it for? Omnibug is for verifying data that actually leaves the browser. So it will tell you exactly that, okay, because here's the thing, GTM will tell you that your implementation is correct, but sometimes you will see things on GTM, but you will not see it on Omnibug. What does that mean? It means that there's a delivery issue, so you need to know maybe the loading of that event, the loading of that code, etc., etc. It will help you as well to inspect GA4 event payloads and to confirm the parameters. As I said, you know, for example, maybe you will set in the product view, the currency, the product name, like multiple things, you know, the item name, as we said. A lot of stuff will be here in the Omnibug. So when you see them here in the Omnibug part, you will confirm that, okay, what I did is correct. Why it's important? Because GTM preview shows intent. What were you intending to show? But Omnibug shows the reality. So Omnibug will show you exactly what should reflect on your Google Tag Manager. So I can just summarize it. If GTM preview says it fires, but Omnibug shows nothing, is then the problem is with the delivery. And that's the second way. The third way that we have, which is, I would say it's interesting, you know, it's interesting to know, but you might not use it that much, which is the something called debug mode equals to true. So for example, this is my website. It's shop.hisham, and then you have to put a question mark, and then you can say debug underscore mode equals to true, and then you click yes. Now, I'm gonna refresh here, and I'm gonna show you from the beginning, by the way. So we are in Google Analytics. So as you know, like the first thing, I put my website domain, and then I put question mark, debug mode equals to true, and then I go to Analytics, and then we go to the admin, and then you go and you put on the search, debug view, it will show the first one. You click on the debug view, and because you have this here as question mark debug mode equals to true, you will be able to see your device. So this is my device, for example, and you can see that the page view. You know what? Let's try to do something like, you know, let's see the GA4 session ID if we'll get it. So this is the session ID, right? Let's see. And then I go here and I put inspect. And then we want to go to Omnibug again. Let's go to Omnibug. We go to home, so we reload it. Okay, let's go to Omnibug. Now let's see where's the page view. Let's go with the first page view. As I said, it should not be 3, but let's see. So let's try to look for it. It should be here. Where's the, so it's 1139. 1139. Yeah, exactly. So you can see that the session ID that I have here is 1139. If we go to Google Analytics and look here, you will see that the session ID is 1139. Of course, like the rest should be the same, right? You know, this is the other page view that I did. So you can see here, the session ID is 1139. It equals to what we have. Okay. So this is the third way. And what is it for? It's for seeing the events arrives in GA4 in near real time. As you can see, whatever I did, it reflects in the debug mode. and to verify the naming consistency. So this will give you an idea like, okay, what is the event's name? What am I firing? How it's reflecting on GA4? And it's really good as a QA after publishing, you know? So after you publish, let's say that you don't publish on the production version of your website, you publish on something called the UAT. It's a good for QA. So you ensure that, you know, your tracking is how it should be. Now, as we said, how do we enable the debug? You just simply have to put your domain, and then you put debug. It's here, sorry. Where was it? Okay, let's put it here. So it's here, and then you put question mark, debug mode equals to true, you know? And this is how you do it, and make sure that the it's gtag.js configured, not GTM. Now, debug view doesn't mean real time. What do I mean by real time? If you go to Google Analytics, there's something called in the report real time. The real time report, which I'm going to show you right now. So this is the real time overview. So you can see that the real time overview is actually what all users are doing on the website, not only you. Of course, in my case, it's only me because I'm the only one visiting this website. But if you have a big business with many people, the real time will show you everyone. Whereas the debug will show you only that user who has the debug mode enabled, you know? There's some other ways to do it as well to debug. I will not go more in depth in this because I don't think that will add lots of value. Maybe to make things more complicated. So yeah, that's what I think are the three main ways to debug. I hope that this is helpful. If you have any questions, please feel free to add the comment below or reach out to me. Thank you so much and see you on the next lesson.